I'm Tracy Phillips with SoManyShows.com, and we do podcasts as well as written articles, reviews, recaps, etc. So we have one specifically for the Lincoln Lawyer. I wanted to start off with Becky had mentioned that she had some input on her role of Lorna. Did you have any input up front about Trevor?
I would say indirectly, only in that, because I auditioned for the role,
Right.
like I was able to give my take in that audition. So,
Sure.
And so the fact that they responded so warmly to what I was doing, it was really encouraging. And then as we went through, like we had a very open dialogue back and forth, but Ted and his writers did such a wonderful job on these scripts. There, I didn't have a lot of notes, frankly.
Okay. Yeah. Did you have the entire storyline up front? Did you know the whole thing, or did you have any guesses as you were portraying him?
Well, because it's based on a book.
True. Yeah.
I knew where it was going.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that I would be so charming throughout filming the show that they would change their minds and come up with an entirely new ending and change the title. But it didn't work. But that's okay, because I feel like it's complicated and satisfying in the end.
Yes. Yes. Well, I had read the book as well, and you kind of had me going for a while, because you never know with a TV adaptation if they're going to switch it up on you. So it's great that we still get to guess a little. And I'm like, are they going to switch it up here or not? So, and that brings me to another question. It's kind of meta sort of in my head, but how do you approach trying to play someone that's lying, but of course wanting to make them look believable, but yet keep your audience guessing? Like, there's just so many different layers. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's really complicated, and it's your craft, so obviously you're good at it, but is there a certain approach with that?
Well, it's kind of two things.
Okay.
For the actor, like our job always is just to play as honestly as possible the scene that's in front of us. Okay. Right? Yeah. So I believe what Trevor believes. I can only show what Trevor shows to me. Right. The bigger story-wide crafting of what that arc is really the responsibility of the writers and the director. Where they're pointing the camera, what Trevor says and what he doesn't say. Okay. That kind of thing. Yeah. For me, it's just more simple than that. But like I'm just playing the truth of this scene for him. I think the important choice for me that I made just from my first audition was he loved his wife. Okay. That's true. Okay. Now we're post-mortem, right? We've seen the show. Yeah. He also murdered his wife. Right. That is also true. Yeah. Right. So the murder part, he doesn't want to talk about, and he's not going to talk about because he needs to get away with this. It is also true that he loved her, and he is paying an emotional price for all of it. Okay. And so when he's talking about her and he gets emotional, it's true. Okay. Like, he did love her. They did have all this good stuff going on. And that allows the audience to believe him, and it allows Mickey to believe him without feeling like me as the actor is lying. Right. Right. Okay. That's really interesting. That helps me think about it more. Not that I have to understand how to do it. I'm not the actor, but it helps, to think about it that way, and then that sort of focus. Now, just curious, in your mind, playing Trevor, would you say that his downfall was more ego or greed or something else? No, it's ego, hubris. I think that, Mickey has him pegged when he talks about him as an addict. I think that's really pretty right on. Like he there's the woman that ends up killing him, like she's around, and she's like talking to people, but she's not on his radar. The collateral damage of what he's done is not on his radar. He's so self-centered and addicted to his success and his fame and his company and what they've built, and the software and all of this stuff, that he is blind to the things outside of him, that the thing that ends up taking him down. He's completely blind, and it's and it is that total lack of empathy for other people, right? That is part of what drives her to that end, because she sees him as a monster. And it's part of the tragedy. I mean, the show doesn't get into it at all, but like for me on a personal level, like the ending, while satisfying in a sense that like kind of, he gets what's coming to him.
Yeah.
It's tragic because this woman's life is now ruined, right? Because now she's murdered someone and she's not going to get away with it.
She won't be the same. Yeah.
No, it's tragic.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. But I think that's so interesting that. Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and she did such a wonderful job in that performance, at that moment, that total emotional, the pain when, she was, I mean, I remember on set, Heather was like, I couldn't see it because I was laying on my back looking straight up, but just seeing her just give those wonderful, those painful, all that emotion in that moment.
Yeah.
It's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, no, it was very well done. I think that's really a good point you made about her not being on his radar, because you think about the fact that she was in the courtroom every day. If he just turns around, he might say, "Oh, that lady's there every day," but just doesn't even think about it. It's all about him. And sure enough, oh, that same lady's here. But he's not looking at the crowd as individuals anyway. That's not his focus. So that's definitely a very good point. I was going to ask you, did Trevor really love Laura? And you've already answered that. Do you think the love was more genuine in the beginning when they first met, or did he love her the same all the way through?
No, I think he loved her, but I think, like as he talks about the infidelity, like the infidelity to me is a symptom of that same thing, right? It's that same like addictive behavior of getting addicted to the fame, getting addicted to the money, to the attention that you're getting from other people. The power, is very addictive.
Yeah.
Okay. And so another thing that like we don't really touch in the series, but like another thing I think is true is that it's not easy to kill someone. Like that is a trauma that you do not, that is serious.
Right.
And for him, like to have killed someone that he loved so much, like, in his mind, even when he's saying, I came out there to fight for our marriage, like, like in some way, I think that was true for him. Like, okay. Like as mixed up as that is, like, I think that was true in a way. And having then killed her is, it's traumatizing for him as a person, but like, double so because he's killed his magic, right? Like he knows. That's another thing that's true in that first episode when he talks about her, like, without her, I have no magic. That's true.
Yeah. That's a very, very good line. Very important one. Well, on a lighter note with your role, how much did you actually get to drive the car? Was any of that movie magic, or were you driving
Fiskar?
down the road? Yeah, Fiskar.
Well, let me tell you, that was really interesting because that is such a beautiful car, like very sexy, really cool car. It is also it's not real yet. It's a concept vehicle.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So it is like almost nothing. It has like literally a golf cart engine in it.
Okay.
And so it turns on, like, have you ever been in a golf cart and the little key that you turn it on?
Yeah.
That's the key right now in that car. It is literally a golf cart key. Okay. And you turn it on.
That is funny.
Like nothing works. Nothing. Like there's no power. So turning it is like so hard, and it feels like you're rolling on like big wheel plastic wheels, like nothing about it. Like it doesn't at all work the way that it seems to. The doors only open one at a time. And so like, that's why you never see them opening at the same time on the screen. Like they're always having to cut around it. So beautiful, but completely fabricated, not ready for prime time. It will be, like, it's coming out and it's going to be an amazing car, but the one that we had was literally, it was like, oh, this is what these concept vehicles are. They have like golf cart engines in, just so that you can drive up onto the stage and then drive off. And that is all that that thing was good for. It was amazing. Like you couldn't even open it without like this key fob. And so like whoever had the fob was completely in control of whether or not the people in the car could get in or out, like, because there was no other way to open the doors.
Trapped. Yeah, you're at the mercy of someone else.
It was and on that scene when we pull away from Parallax that first time you see us driving away, like we were in it, but like as we were getting to the corner and starting to turn, it like smelled like it was catching fire. Like it was just did not seem safe at all.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's some really good scoop. Yeah, I did not expect that answer, but that's some really good scoop.
Right?
Yeah. Well, also, are you a gamer? Are you a video gamer?
Well, I'll tell you, I was when I was younger, and then I had kids, and I didn't play video games for a long time. But I got back into it over the pandemic because some friends of mine got me into The Last of Us.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with that one.
Yeah, and I fell in love with that video game, and thank God, like it was about a month before the second one came out, because I would have, I don't know how people waited so
what would you have
long
done
for the second one.
Yeah.
And then that second game, to me, like it was, like I understood, like the whole speech that Trevor gives about the uncanny valley and how it changed everything for video games. Like I felt that way about storytelling, playing The Last of Us 2. I felt like The Last of Us, what The Last of Us 2 didn't revolutionize, graphics or characters' eyes to me. I care less about that. But what it did do, it totally opened up a whole new way to tell stories, because when you get to the midpoint of that game and then it flips and now you're playing the antagonist and you're forced to empathize with the bad guys. Was just blew me away. And I'm such a huge fan of those guys that made that show. So, for me, like I was, telling myself, like, I kind of get to be Neil Druckmann in this show. Although I think he's probably a much nicer guy than Trevor.
Give him more credit.
Yeah. So I'm a gamer, like I'm a very specific type of gamer. Right. I haven't found a game since The Last of Us 2 that I can get into, just because like I want that experience again. Sure.
Yeah, nothing short of that. Thank you for this time. I'm excited, really excited for the listeners to hear about this car. That's some good scoop.
Yeah, that's good stuff, right? I know. I wish, and like no knock on Fiskar, because the production vehicle I think is going to be so cool. But it's funny when you watch it. Like you see it on the freeway, you can see they sped it up. This like when it's like I don't know how they got it on. I don't know how you even got it on the freeway.
That's so funny. That's really good intel. Well, you take care. Have a great day, and really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, Tracy.